I applied the aluminum oxide within the cylindrical housing bearing coil, aluminum oxide and the silicon carbide within the housing of the coil. The coil is bearing within inside this housing. It has one iron core coil that goes around here. Okay, I'm working on the diamagnetic repulsive gauntlet and working on the hand unit. As you see, I wrapped some iron coils and copper coils in spiral shape, coil shape, and I have it onto a foundation of aluminum. That's aluminum that's under there. I've coated the aluminum with silicon carbide and aluminum oxide. And as far as the silver coil, I have silver and aluminum there, and silver coil and aluminum there, and the foundation is aluminum. The repulsive force is supposed to move it backwards, so I can levitate in the air vertically. This is for vertical self-repulsion. I have to coat these coils, so this is the last time you probably see it like this. You have to coat it in aluminum oxide and silicon carbide. And I'm using low gauges and high gauges, starting at 1200 Gs and up and down actually. So the highest one I think I'm going to be 6090 for the ending submerged in the resin that's supposed to cover the coils and protect the coils within the silicon. There I have also a central coil inside of this wafer, and I have an iron. I have the silicon filament with aluminum oxide. As you can see, that residue that's aluminum oxide. It's within inside of it, and it's filled with resin and epoxy. So this is for self-repulsive. The cockpit I'm also going to fill up with more silicon carbide and aluminum oxide. And once I coat it with the resin, I'm going to be using crystalline resin as far as Wacko super glaze, ultra thick and clear finish. And we're using that over here to coat this. So this is for my repulsive gauntlet. It increases the Newtonian force of the electrical energy winding. I use a spun helix iron, the flux and the dense increase the neutrons through the gyroscopic precession, who draws the electrons closer to increase in neutron energy. According to the input of electrical charge wires on the central, packed with silicon, silicon carbide, and I used also aluminum oxide. So that's aluminum oxide, and I used a little bit of silicon carbide, about 500 grams, 600 grains, and the girts of 60 to 90. So the 60 to 90 I'm placing around the housing. I got to do the other coil on the back side. This is aluminum and copper. So I put aluminum copper localized together. They should repulse, and I'm going to coat it again till it's not seeing the copper and the girt silicon. So to cool it, and I'm able to touch my pinky and to move it, and I have the iron coil around here, and I'm going to coat that too. And I have another coil with inside, and I have another filament of silicon, which causes the thermoelectric effect, refrigeration, and the carbide, the aluminum carbide, was like a semiconductor. So I'm going to finish off. There's other parts and segments to this that I showed you before, and I'm going to add the coating on top of them and the coil. I'm also going to put the coil on the back side too of the unit, and then I'm going to sand it down. So my name is Jimmy Morton now.